Alexander Volkanovski get back on the winning track against Ilia Topuria at UFC 298. See who fighters are picking in the latest edition of MMA Pros Pick.
Ooh, okay, that's another one that's going to be really, really tough for Volk. I'll lean towards Volk as far as because of experience, but I think that's going to be a way tough challenge for him.
Man, I can't be biased on that. I keep it real. I think it's hard to pick against Volk. Volkanovski's looking undeniable, bro. And that last fight he took was on short notice, coming off of surgery. He had nothing to lose, so I think give him a full training camp. That is a hard guy to beat.
Man, great fight. I think stylistically too, and it's going to be. I think you kind of hit it on the head, James. Is how does Volkanovski? How much time does he have off in between the knockout, and how does he feel, and how does it affect him? How could it affect him? So I think those things are very important aspects to look at. And then, man, like we saw Topuria go out and do what he did against Josh Emmett. Man, this kid's a real deal. I'm looking forward to that fight. I lean towards Volkanovski in that. I just feel like he has a lot more tools, but he's also, in my opinion, the guy who continues to evolve and grow. Every time out, you see him doing better and better. And so I think the 145-pound division is where he belongs. And, I think Volkanovski's the guy that goes out and gets the job done.
I got Volkanovski. I think he just super well-rounded. Don't get me wrong. He did lose his last fight. He did get clipped. But it's part of the game. I think at 45s, he's probably the best. I'm a big Aldo fan, but he's probably Volkanovski's probably the GOAT. And he's very technical. He's good everywhere. I got Volkanovski.
I wanted to say Volk, but I think the fact that he got knocked out does not. I don't think it's enough time between fights. Your jaw doesn't heal up that quickly, so I think Topuria could definitely catch him.
I've been having mixed thoughts about it, just because I'm a big Volk. I'm a big fan of both the guys, but I think Volk. You can never count Volk out. But the thing is, I think Volk is having a quick turnaround, so you never know how that goes. And from what I've heard, every time you get knocked out, it takes time to truly fully heal from it. And Ili's on a streak right now, and he's young too. So I don't know. I'm gonna go by Volk.
Okay.
I feel like you can never count Volk out.
I think Volkanovski. Yeah, I think he'll hold on to it. I think Islam's a beast and caught him, and he took that fight on 10 days notice, and people kind of running him through the mud a little bit. But prior to that, everyone's like, he's the greatest of all time. He's pound for pound one. And Topuria's shown that he can get hurt. I think if he's getting hurt by Jai Herbert, I feel like Volk will be able to find him.
Volk. I think Volk.
Taking Volkanovski.
Oh my God. Why are you throwing the hard ones at me, bro? Volkanovski. I'm a huge Topuria fan, and I hope Topuria wins. I want to see new blood. I want to see, a young, undefeated, unchallenged guy. I would love to see some new blood. But I think that the fact that they're making Volkanovski, because he lost a fight that he took on 11 days to look at what he did to Islam with a full camp. Now let's say that he does that, then he beats who did he beat? Yair, and then he fights. If nobody would be giving Topuria a chance, but because he took a risk on 11 days notice, he wanted to make some money and challenge himself, and he came up short, just like we all do sometimes. Now everybody thinks he's going to lose. No, you got to take Alex.
Topuria, man, I really like him, but I think he's getting too high up on himself. Like, he said this is going to be the easiest fight of his career. I'm like, there's no way, dude. Like, I know Volk didn't look good in his last fight, but people could not judge him off that last fight. And, he did not look right. He had to cut a lot of weight just to make 55, and it was something that he really wanted back, was that win. And he did really great against Islam the first time. So, I actually think Volk's going to do really good in this fight, and I think we're going to see him expose Topuria in the later rounds. And I don't know if he'll finish him, but I think Volk's going to get this win.
That's a sick one, man. That's a sweet fight. Volkanovski's probably like the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, so I'm going to go with him. But I think the big X factor in this one is how does he come back from a first-round knockout loss? That wasn't... I don't think that was a great indication of where his skills are and stuff. You take a fight on on short notice like that. Like even if you're mentally strong, you think you beat this guy in the last fight. Like when one guy gets a camp and one guy doesn't at the highest level, it's pretty hard to nullify that, especially when you're giving up size.
I've really become a big fan of Ilia Topuria, man. I've been watching a lot of his fights and stuff, man. And I don't want to say because I love Alex too, but I think it's time. I think it's the time to pass the torch, and I think Ilia is going to get it done.
Volkanovski. I've seen Volkanovski train. He came and did his Shark Tanks, the last bit of his camp at my gym once when there was when he fought Korean Zombie here in Jacksonville. So I saw him train for about 5 or 6 days, and the work ethic of that guy is something else. Just watching him, you can learn. So I think as far as well-rounded fighters, Volk is one of the pound-for-pound best. So I'm going Volkanovski there.